little bit of another one of the shorter ones here, as you do. Been a little bit of a chaotic morning, as life goes and all that kind of thing. So, last time we were stuck in the woods. I know it's been a bit of a while. Like I was saying on the Zine Notes run yesterday, it's just kind of been like that lately. Stuff comes up every now and then. Also, apparently the lighting is going to go in and out repeatedly. Not really sure what that's all about, but okay. Nothing's actually changed as far as that whole setup goes. Still feeling mildly sick here, but oh well. Such is life, right? Continuing on. So, as far as stuff that's changed since last time, I'm gonna try to pull that up in the background here, just because there actually were a couple patches since last time. So would probably be good to share that information, just for those who are curious. So let's see here. So, wait, God, sorry about that. Alright, so back on 602, so Hashmalan's reaction chance got lowered, Ultima's reaction chance got lowered, Undead Time Mage speed got lowered. Okay, good, so that's going to help us out a lot here. Chocoball damage got increased, also going to help. Gil cost, Broad and Oak Staff, because 120 for the Oak Staff annoyed him, apparently. Flame Whip to be non-elemental with a new name. Alright. Let's see. Increased vertical range for singing and dancing from 5 to 8. Nice! Alright, updated help text for geomancy skills to indicate they can't be evaded. Gave Raph static starting equipment in Yard Out Fort City. Fixed a bug that was causing units to randomly roll very low tier items for their level. Chapter 4 enemies with bowguns and so on. White chocobos are no longer rideable. So yeah, actually I thought that happened last time, but apparently it didn't. Blue Choco got a Wargeless story scene. Beowulf got static starting equipment, and a bug with abandon was fixed. Alright, sounds all well and nifty then, so we're going to go ahead and move on here. Hello there, Vale. Hello there, Mr. Cow. See, someone leached the color out of all those bombs and chocobos. They're all black and white. Yeah, unfortunately our color printer ran out. Just Biolante, just all those eyeballs, just took ages. Also then King Caesar just apparently just ate the rest of the ink and got this weird purple situation going on him. What can you do, right? Alright, so apparently we're capped out on our party size at the moment because I've got way too many Rodans. So, oh, I even have one name that I haven't renamed yet. We should probably go ahead and rename him. Boy. God, this cough is annoying. Like, at this point, almost every other part of this... I don't even want to call it a cold. It was whatever bizarre disease we ran into. It's already gone, but no, this annoying cold's gonna stick around for weeks. Guarantee it. Alright, let's call you... Now, we already had a Rodan. Let's see. Anyone got a preferred extra Rodan name for me here? Also, I find it funny that you guys actually have the same chat color when it pops up in this little chat box thing, but over here on this little sidebar, they're completely different. Radon? Alright. That doesn't sound confusing at all. Huh. Oh, they probably had to change that because of radon sensors over here. Like, but this stuff is the silent and deadly killer. It's like, oh, don't worry, it'll be deadly over the course of like 80 years. If you're constantly exposed to it. Like, wouldn't oxygen have the same effect? Yes. Get that radon detector, though. Alright. Wait, really? That's why? Alright. Well, I mean, Rodan sounds cooler, so that works out great. Yeah, I have zero idea why the lighting doesn't seem to be adjusting properly. Like, I guess if I sit slightly higher, it seems better. It's bizarre. Anywho, so these time mages shouldn't be, like, you know, moving at the speed of sound this time. So we actually have a chance here. So that should be all well and good. Ooh, that's a lot of people all of a sudden. Okay. So let's go ahead and do it this way. So let's go 4 4 road ends to start off, I think. Probably a pretty good starting point. Just kind of see what kind of mileage we get out of that, and then, you know, kind of go on from there. So we'll go ahead and do a quick save right there. Why not? Why don't you fight cats? It's fun to fight cats. I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of fight. Like, technically, every evening is a fight with our cats. It's just a never-ending thing with them, because they will constantly try to just sleep on top of your face, or they'll get into stuff, or just suddenly decide, like, hey, guys, check out this plastic bag, it's amazing. I decided to drag it all the way across the apartment, drag it over to the bedside, and just chew it really loudly in the middle of the night, just so you know that I caught it. Like, really? You gotta do that? Who fights cows? Oh man, I was literally just watching a thing about that too. It was there was this old like cowboy guy that apparently mastered the technique for suplexing cows. I kid you not, that's actually a thing. All right. So we're gonna try to go for shell here. I don't have any specific plan behind this. We're just kind of gonna see how this goes. Yeah, I'm not even kidding, Mr. Cow. That's actually a thing. Apparently, cow wrestling is a thing. Like, as I understand, the story goes a little bit. Oh, is the sound way too loud right now, or is that just on my end? How is it on your guys? Not too loud? Okay. Just turn down my headset then. But yeah, so yeah, apparently what had happened, this guy was just basically a farmhand for the longest time, and then apparently was watching bulldog, like, when they were dealing with larger bulls and that kind of thing, he was watching bulldogs, which they would use to wrangle them to the ground. So apparently these bulldogs would like jump up and just bite him in the lip, and then like twist, like they would just like latch on the bottom lip and then just like twist until they fell to the ground. So what ended up happening is this guy decided, you know what? I've got a great idea. I'm gonna go ahead and just like ride alongside a horse, or ride alongside it on a horse. I'm gonna go ahead and just like tackle it from the horns, swing over to the front, bite it in the face, and then twist it to the ground. And apparently that just kind of became his traveling show for a while. I don't remember his name. His nickname was Dusty Demon, apparently. Or the Dusty Demon. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, what is that even? It's kind of hilarious. That's what that is. Alright, so let's see. We can get about 90 damage off this. Doesn't really seem worth it. Might as well just go for the spark here. Alright, beautiful. Forgot these guys don't understand damage too good. So first things to go then, gonna be the time mages. We'll just save the ghosts for last if we can. Counterflood's annoying. At least it's not as bad as the other thing. But yeah. I'm really hoping my dog gets better soon. This whole thing lately with all their stomachs acting up is just... Let's just say it doesn't smell too good. Even after bleaching everything, it's still there for some reason. Why does it still stink? It's always the thing with dogs. They always find a new way to stink. Alright, there we go. Damage split. Oh, wow. Plus you take 0 damage anyway. Wow. Okay. I mean, might as well go for it, sure. These guys must have a weakness to fire. Alright, we've only got 1 re-raise so far. Let's see. Just coat the carpet with Brut or Aquavelva. It's not a great improvement, but it's a step up. Well, I mean, that's one way to do it, I suppose. Yeah, wow, that does a lot. I mean, I know it's 30%, but we only need a couple of them, so we're realistically going to need Blaze here. So I probably need to come back with 3 fireballs, 1 chicken. If I were to think of an ideal way to handle this. Thanks for not getting critical quick. This one would do it sound the same way as that's the wrong way to do it. Well, no, I mean it in a good way. That it is a particularly singular way of doing it. Alright, please don't. And he did. See, this is what happens when you don't use that one ability you've got. You know, that critical quick thing? Yeah, you get nuked. It's not good for anyone. Alright, let's go ahead and use you for revival, I think. Raise 2 costs the same, might as well just use that. Let's see, isn't there a way to make bombs automatically explode when they take fatal damage? Well, that's kind of what critical quick is supposed to do. Not to mention if he exploded right there, he would have just hit my own guys. But, basically, they automatically explode in the... How would you even call them? It's like, in the mainline games, they will automatically explode if they hit critical. In this one, they've got critical quick, which just lets them take an instant turn, so you have the option of making them do so. No, he's gonna get zomboid. That's not actually too much of an issue right now, actually. Yeah, if that was their passive effect, I probably wouldn't be able to use them. Because like with critical quick, it's basically like they get hit, they suddenly they're at maximum potential explosion damage, then they just like run up to something and just self-destruct. It's very, very good. And I go for a spark over here. He's going to heal himself slightly, hit 2 of them for a very mild amount. Meh. Yeah, all these counter floods on everybody are making Blaze a little bit of an issue. It's still useful, it's just not... definitely not up to where it was before. Namely, a moving chainsaw of utter death. Alright, we can probably go ahead and probably follow up on that same move, because I'd like both these mages to go. This one isn't doing too much that's dangerous. Mostly she's just going for disabling moves. Not really too many complaints there. Oh! Okay, I was just out of range for both. Fine. Doesn't matter. By the way, Mr. Cow, how's it going hunting your dealie? That's still an ongoing project? Alright, burninate her. Yeah, we're probably going to need to get a couple self-destructs onto her. Just because she's got a lot of health, and she's got a lot of... well, just a lot of defense. Good. Good. Let's see, if there are above tiles with Earth Element Geomancy, then they're safe. Alright, give it a try. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more fair now. Basically, if you weren't here for last time, what had happened is these time mages used to be a lot faster. And I don't even know how much faster they were. It could have even only been 1 speed or something. But they literally were just like running up. They were using their like it's basically a revenge damage move, and they were setting up for it. They were setting up for it and getting it off before I could even take a turn. It's like it was usually a mix of this, like they would use arrow on their own unit, then essentially use that unit's damage that they just took to transfer over to one of the bombs there, and they would usually get a kill off before anything even happened. So that was a little bit iffy, but it seems like that's a different situation now. Alright, so we should be able to go for a spark here, and the counter geomancy is gone. For now anyway, until they revive. Hopefully not with full health. It's not TO, they're not coming back with full health. Maybe it's half health. Maybe it's full, maybe it's not at all. Sorry again. Wait, did we hit that guy? Yeah, Blaze hit, or not Blaze, but Spark hit him. If we had Boko here, we could do a lot more about that guy. Rum's is sleeping, so they're not really bothering to do anything about him. They're inappropriately touching her over and over. Please don't. Thank you. They're getting all offended that we're using Rays over here. I know, but I used it on us. That's why we died real good. Right. Now then. Okay, 108. Right, what is this guy targeting exactly? Right, so he's hitting an arrow over there. That'll get him woken up. Possibly knock him into critical. See how that goes. But yeah, right now I'm actually kind of glad for that arrow, because as soon as he does that, Ramza will be up. Can go for the mass revive again. Rafa's probably just gonna start trying to hit stuff. Ooh, wow, that sucked. That guy's not even a threat. Why am I even bothering with him? Alright. Well, let's get him out of the way at least. There we are. Let's go for 2 fireballs. That'll temporarily finish him off. We need... hopefully she goes for that one at the bottom. Alright, perfect. Perfect in every possible way. Also, she can go ahead and get a little bit of damage off on this one. That is depressingly crappy. Alright, her abilities seem really good against these guys, at least. Quick question. If and when Cerabow happens to show up, I thought those abilities were now guaranteed to target somebody, instead of just targeting randomly. Alright, let's get this guy going. Yeah, this is definitely much more manageable. Right, come on, critical quick. Guess he didn't really need it. Alright. Gonna go ahead and go boom here. It's probably gonna take out Rafa too. Oh well. That's perfectly fine. Time Mage probably just needs another single fireball, and that'll do it. Not sure what that guy's up to exactly. But this guy, just go ahead and go for the mass revive here. That's why I was saying it was a perfect setup if it happened. Yeah, this guy's just not very good. Alright, that's fine. That ghost will run away. We might be able to tame him. Alright. Hello, critical quick. In fact, yeah, he's just gonna go self-destruct right next to this ghost. No, he's not. Would have been a smart choice, except I screwed it up. Yeah, whatever, just go for that. Was thinking he could get revived, but unfortunately I didn't realize that, or I didn't calculate for the tiles. So he would knock out the reviver. That's fine. And we're all back in the game. Yeah, I think we've got this. So far, anyway. Here's the question, though. Which one are you? Okay, you're a Dust, or a Gust. So I'm assuming he's the tier 2. You're a Revenant. I don't know what you are. Anyway, 26. Both are 26. Let's see, 1022. What are your stats? 1023. Okay, so the green one's the one we want to go for, so let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. Or at least attempt to. Alright, and then everybody else can just chase down this guy with sparks up until he goes boom. Sounds like a solid choice. Perfect. Alright, and then she just needs to get close to everybody else. Sure, I've got some turns coming up that can reach her. Can I have a turn now? Alright, there we go. There's that drain touch. That's fine. Because now he's within just probably single hit range. Yeah, okay. With your quick cast nonsense, get out of here. Alright. Let's get that revive going out there. And realistically, it might as well just go self-destruct. There's about to be a revive over here anyway. Boom! Nifty, that leaves one ghost. He's gonna go take out that fireball, probably. No? Never mind, he's gonna do the snappy crap again. Alright. 1.5. Self-destruct should hit here. Oh, what's that linked to? Did you actually beat it? Alright, I'm gonna see if she can finish off this guy. If she can, then we might as well just finish the fight. Worth a try. What a douche! Can I have a turn, please? And are we seriously losing it right now because he took a nap? And apparently that doesn't wake you up from a nap? Yes, indeed. I did want a video of that some such situation. God, these ghosts suck. I literally might have to redo this. 'Cause of sleep. Oh, for God's sake, are you serious right now? Both of them critical. Lose it, because he's taking a dang nap. Unbelievable. Alright. Let's go ahead and replace, I guess, this one, because Blaze would have been incredibly useful there. Yeah, definitely got to pick up one of those ghosts. Because that is really, really annoying to fight against. With exclusively this party. well, yada yada, ghost bad, you know, let's be good guy, then go delete ghosts in the forest. There's never not a ghost forest map in a Mitsuno game. Like, Ogre Battle had one, OB64 has one every few maps, Night of Lotus had one, this has one. I mean, Lucked, they're just basically always going on. We're doing this again, huh? Alright. Cool. So, he just got insta-killed. That's nice. It's alright, he's here to make sure that they hit the ghosts. Because they seem to have a weakness to fire. It seems like Blaze would be the one thing that hard counters them more than anything else. Couldn't tell you why he's going for that. Other than he's in range to do so. Man, that was going so well too. That was going so well. All that had to happen was exactly not what happened. Such is life. So how's summer treating you guys so far? So far so decent. Wishing for winter already. Well, what's that whole situation? Yeah, I can't take a look at the video just yet. Actually, come to think of it. Mr. Cow, could you repeat that link? Because hang on, actually, is it up here? Yeah, no, it's not up here. I have to refresh the page. Because I didn't have the other computer up at the time. Did it come in time? No. And one more time. One more time, because it didn't quite pop up. Sorry. Let's see, like the sunlight, ready for cool weather now. It's the real summer heat that'll show up any day now. Yeah, we already got it here. It's some special brand of crap over here right now. The weather is just mean in every possible capacity. That's gonna take these ghosts down a little bit. And that's somebody with a cat head. I don't know why I'm surprised they have a cat head, but, you know, of course you have a cat head. Somehow expected, like... I expected a cow head with a helmet, I'm not gonna lie. Also, by the way, whenever the, over on Friday, when the Xenonauts run continues, Mr. Cow, you are gonna be leading the second attempt at that thing that got pretty much got half the team killed, so... Just FYI. This guy's a dick and needs to go. I know it's 30%. Don't judge me. Alright. Just gonna take pot shots here because I want to line them all up. Need them to get closer so we can deal with some of the other stuff. Yes! Goodbye, ghost. Man, that thing is some Dark Souls crap. What the hell? It's like Mega Deer. It's bizarre. Huh. Alright. Hang on, what's this thing called again? Leshen? Or Lechen? Probably Leshen. I don't know. It's unclear. But yeah, I love our bizarre weather over here. We literally went from just snow one week to 100-degree weather the next. There was nothing in between. It's like snow gone, fire now. It's the ancient Leshen specifically. Yeah, this seriously looks like a Dark Souls boss. Or a Bloodborne boss, actually. Let's go for cheaper vibes this time. Raise 2 is not worth it. Wait a minute. No, that's fine. Let's see. Colorado is normally like that. A little suspicious that we've stayed below 90 this June. Maybe Michigan stole it. Like, I wasn't sure how hot it was gonna get, but definitely wasn't expecting to go fly up into the 90s immediately. Wow. This got thrown backwards like 50 feet. Abandoned. They really hate this chicken. What do you have against my chicken? Lay off my chicken, okay? He's just trying to sit here, do his thing. Like, man, these guys are being all mean and everything. All I want to do is help people burninate stuff in a forest. We're sitting here getting magic nuked over and over. Seriously, how does he not even get a turn? He's been outsped constantly by every single one of these zombies. See, last year June was 95 plus and full of swarms of wasps. It was maximum miserable. Sure you didn't accidentally travel to Florida? Alright, that sounds a lot like Florida. Alright, let's go deal with this guy, I suppose. Of course he guarded it. Why wouldn't he? Yeah, we can't even get any setup off here. See, Colorado tends to have more sun and more heat than Florida, but zero humidity. Yeah, I was always surprised when going to Kansas to find out that the weather was almost exactly like Florida, though. It's like, I'm, you know, back in the day, it was, you know, just a little kid in my little suit traveling along. And, you know, long story short, folks who were with wanted to have a look at a property in Kansas. So go over there. You know, my mother at the time is insisting she's able to afford this friggin' thing somehow. Like, touring this entire building this whole time, thinking, like, we can't even afford, like, 0.01% of this under the most ideal of circumstances, so I don't get what we're doing here. But anyway, so, yeah. Just there in a suit. About 10 minutes into this whole situation, like, everybody's walking around, like, in shorts and direct sunlight and everything. We're just walking along trying to figure out how everyone's still alive here, because just like, yeah, no, just completely and utterly roasting the entire time. Alright, yeah, there's only one move here, and that's to attack this guy. Wait, that's not who I thought it was. Okay, crap. Yeah, this is probably completely screwed here. But yeah, actually New Mexico was, it sounds pretty similar to Colorado. Nope. We're doing that again. And we're getting rid of... Let's put you over here. Yeah, that's 2019 apparently, so let's make sure we actually got the right ones here. Alright, so you go over here. Toasty Rodan goes here. You go way back here. And Ash Rodan over here, and then we'll go ahead and save that. Because this sandbagging thing isn't gonna fly. I'm basically getting rid of one of my attack units for the purpose of being able to actually hit those ghosts. The problem is that didn't work last time because, well, he was a tad more dead than usual. Which I guess realistically I should just stick that ability on Ramza again. Let's see, Colorado can also have snow from September to May. So while June, July, August, and early September are very, very miserable, the rest of the year it's nice. Sounds like Michigan. Except in Michigan it's more like you just roll the dice and that's your weather for the day. Now, I might be thinking of something completely off here, but Mr. Cow, quick random thought comes to mind, just staring at your video here. Have you tried an axe? I mean, the thing's a tree, so... maybe? See, Michigan, at least Detroit, gets weird snow and winter, though. Black slush was dropped all over the roads. Okay, that's because pretty much immediately after the snow comes down, everything gets salted, after which more snow comes down, after which we suddenly get rainstorm, then it's hot the next day, and so all of it turns into like this weird, slushy, black amazingness, what was it, ground movement, or whatever you called it? Ground sludge, ground slide, ground puke, I don't know, whatever. That, and it's just everywhere. So you basically got people shoveling up salt and snow and dirt into just like little clumps, and they go, I say little clumps, but they will go higher than, you know, a house's roof. Hello there, Lord Many. Welcome. Also, I guess everybody got Don't Move. That's just beautiful. Let's go put some nameless song on here, see if that does anything for us. But yeah. See, not good with Switch X and Change Blade World. Well, I mean, it's a tree, you gotta use an axe, right? Alright, Colorado gets 3 feet of snow, but an hour later the roads and sidewalks are clear, and somehow also dry, and there's no sludge. Yeah, well, it sounds to me like it's just basically a mix of both dry and lots of direct sunlight. It's just over here we always end up getting really overcast, so stuff tends to stay for a while. Alright, so the one that I needed to self-destruct has no means of self-destruct. Alright, that's still a 54, so that's not even worth bothering with. All of them are don't moved. Yeah, this one's screwed from the get-go. It's completely DOA. There's nothing to be done here. Hi there, let's see... Dealfield Dreifer. Read that there were unexpected encounters with the afterlife in XDiv. Somewhat. We basically had a, still Dayagar? Okay, fair enough. Basically... kind of. We seemingly lost half the team. I say seemingly because I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to recheck it or not. Here's the thing. Technically, when we were checking to make sure that everybody was actually on a real tile, when we were leaving the base, we basically had everybody except for one get knocked out. And then the last guy was bleeding, and the tank got out. The tank didn't even get scratched. But basically, 2 of them had passed out on the landing pad. What resulted out of all that is that basically, if we left, in theory, everyone should have a chance to come back, because everybody died from like pretty much exactly on their health damage. Now, the thing, okay, so there were 2 questions at the time. One was, what are the actual odds? Which Spin Dragon actually came in and kind of explained what the permadeath odds were, which were 50% plus 1 health equals 1% lower for for every piece of health underneath. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. So for every piece of health underneath their actual health that gets taken out. So if they take 50 health damage, they're dead. Like that, there's just no question they are dead. Also, we just got double don't moved again. Well, I mean, with one of them, this is still manageable, so we'll make that happen. Anyway, so when I was checking those tiles, I was noticing a weird thing that kept happening, which is that when they were coming back, for whatever bizarre reason, since most of the characters were on 2 different tiles, and usually, like, when picking up loot or whatever else, that isn't much of an issue, but I kept noticing that it was never both, or 3 or 4 or whatever else that came back from that pile. It was always 1 from each pile. So I ended it right at that calculation there, because I reached out to Sharon and have been meaning to go and reach out to Spin Dragon as well, to try to find out, like, if you actually have to move them onto different tiles in order to have them all have a chance of coming back. It's, again, it's a weird thing because the game didn't really expect you to be in those situations, so they just, it's a little janky, but such is life. Hopefully it'll be a bit more patched out for X2. Still hoping to try that at some point. I just haven't really had the means. All right. I think I want to go Life Song here, just to give everybody enough to survive the onslaught. Yeah, it definitely could have been better. I mean, I know they're a relatively small studio and all that. I mean, they tried. They did a lot of new stuff. It's definitely one of those genres that's kind of notorious for really crazy bugs. Like, I mean, okay, so I was testing whether this one patch thing would work earlier today for Silent Storm, which, by the way, it worked. So I might be redoing that one run that I actually deleted from like 10 years ago now, which was this run of it was just basically you could go into every fight using only a pistol. Like, you could use anything else. It's just you go in with only a pistol. So, like, the idea is just to do it all like spy style. Really, really fun way to play that game. But all right, what was I doing here? Not that one for sure. Let's try to take out this Time Age. We're never gonna get a setup as good as that first one. Kind of salty about how screwed we got by those ghosts. Anywho, that was my fault. I really should not have overcommitted there. So, so what was I getting at here? I definitely was getting at something. Not that I remember what it is. Oh well. Oh yeah, yes. So Silent Storm, right? So the glitches that you run into in that game are astounding. Because a lot of it, like, it takes the same thing where it's kind of like Dragon Alliance, where certain characters don't like each other and all that kind of thing. It does the same kind of like tactical RPG type situation, and then like it lets you make your own custom characters and whatever else. But then you get amazing bugs, like just like some piece of debris renders somebody completely invisible, because there's a stealth mechanic in the game, because they added like a physics mechanic, a stealth mechanic, everything else. It's like, it's amazing. Oh, got your first Firebird finally? Fine, fair enough, Mr. Dagar. You have fun with all that. Hope all goes well. Alright, I'm gonna put Chicken Butt over here, so that we can roastify those dudes. Alright, let's put... Yeah, he's just gonna cure himself, I think. I should have gone for a Monster Revive, but that's fine. Anywho. But yeah, like, the glitches you can run into are just beautiful. Like, I think my favorite one was this one where there's one of these base defense missions where you get ambushed, and you're supposed to keep the place from blowing up. But then, beyond several walls, there's a bunch of barrels that, if they're hit, will basically take down the whole building. Now, when I say it's physics-based, I mean, like, every floor can be removed, every, like, single stair can be removed, everything. Like, you could literally just, like, you know that there's a guy on the opposite side of the wall, like, there's little indicators that say, like, hey, you hear somebody approximately over here. So you can just stand there with, like, an HMG or something, just, like, completely mow down that wall, and you just see somebody hilariously, like, ragdolling through several walls backwards. It's so cathartic, it's awesome. But, anywho, what I was trying to say here, though, is as far as those glitches go, so yeah, that invisibility glitch, that one was very annoying for Sentinels, which is its follow-up, which tried to put in more like roguelike elements and that kind of thing. So it's slightly more random, and there's you got to rebuild your team from scratch and keep them all supplied and everything. Which in the first one, they're just like, okay, here's your entire roster. Hopefully, some of them survive to the end of the game, and they just give you free equipment and everything. Though I will say, arguably, the first one is definitely better designed in terms of it's worse balanced. How do I even put it though? Okay, Sentinels has better systems, but whoever balanced the numbers was apparently blind. Whoever balanced the first one had the right idea as far as damages and things like that, couldn't figure out their armor system whatsoever. So, for example, like you have these things called PKs, which they're basically like Iron Man suits for the most part, except they suck. Like they do. Okay, they suck compared to an Iron Man suit. Let's put it that way. But in terms of their actual like raw damage and everything else, yeah, no, they're just amazing. Main. I think she's just gonna sit for the time being. Main point that I'm trying to get across, though, is that, yeah, like, in the first one, if you get one of those suits, that character is invincible. Like, they can take a rocket launcher to the face and just be fine. In the second one, like, they start getting parts blown off and everything. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, the glitches are always there. And it's just amazing to see, like, a tiny piece of railing just go randomly flying off, like, causing the entire building to get leveled or some crap like that. It's such a weird game, and I wish there were more like it. Like, somebody was pointing out in the Reddit, but basically the closest thing is friggin' worms. It's strange. Like, I would say XCOM 2 in some instances, but it's not quite as... Like, I can't say it's quite as deep, because honestly, XCOM 2 is way deeper. But it's definitely not as physics orientated. Like, you can't say, like, go aim for this exact spot right here, and you know everything works out fine. Hi, Sven Dragon. Depends. Somewhat feeling better. Like, I still have the cough that comes and goes, but back up and doing stuff. Was able to get some work done earlier, even though most of the day was spent cleaning up after my dog again, after he had yet another accident all over the place, and then I just wake up and he suddenly looks like he's developed spots. Like, he's just completely covered head to toe. I'm like, yeah, we're saving this for the morning. Just no. But yeah, so, Sven Dragon, quick question for you. Because, unfortunately, I didn't mean to cut it off yesterday when I did. Oh my god, this Dark Holy Crab is really just something else. They will outspeed this chicken any day of the dang week. Yeesh. So, what I've been meaning, what I was trying to finish asking there, because the raid thing went through before I could finish asking it. When I was noticing that when it was reloading who lived or died at the end of the fight there kept being a situation where it was always like one from one pile, one from the other. Do you know if they're limited, like if everyone there was in two piles? So do you know if they're limited to only reviving like one per tile or something? Alright, I'm starting to realize something here. Because I think it's time to do a hard load. I think this might actually... This has to have loaded the wrong state here. Let me restart it real quick. Because yeah, I don't think my save state stayed properly. Because this seems to be running the old version. Let's go ahead and restart that real quick. Namely because those time mages got their speed reduced. And that was definitely the case for the very first fight, and definitely was not the case for the fights after that. Because they started doing the same kind of stuff. But yeah, so I know it's an oddly specific situation, but it just kept making me wonder. Because technically speaking, with odds of 40 to 50% per thing, like, you'd think if we kept testing it, it wouldn't keep rolling 2 every single time. Like, the odds of 2 getting through are pretty good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, it probably just go through and put them all on different tiles later and see if that changes the results at all. Yes, I can. I absolutely can. Should I just send it over to the Discord? Alright, there we go. Alright, I don't think my quick save key is working properly. Unless... No, there we go, it is. Alright, sounds good. So I will be sure to send that over. Alright, so let's go for the roasty toasty approach like last time. Just quick, dirty, and inaccurate. Yeah, it seemed to work out pretty okay. Up until it didn't. We're gonna ignore that little thing. Yeah, busy sounds about right. There's always busy. What is rest? Actually, this morning had gotten up early, and it turns out there was no need to get up early. So, got to take a little bit of a nap. I was like, man, this feels amazing! Like, naps are just the greatest. But it's kind of funny, because then you always fight with your kids or whatever else. So they're like, no, we don't want to go down for naps. Naps are for nerds, and then, you know, those same kids grow up and they're like, we want naps all the time. Naps are great. Why did we ever fight this? Different kind of busy. Work busy, school busy. Hi there, Kinkhouse. And yeah, absolutely. Always love to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll be doing one more One Vision in a bit here. Getting pretty close to the end of the monster run. Had a few ideas for a few more interesting runs on that. And yeah, I don't know if you saw the Night of Lotus actually started getting some modding. So we got stuff. We got stuff we can do there. Oh, by the way. Well, I'm glad to have helped. Yeah, mod's definitely one of my favorite things to come out in a really long time. It's just fun. It is good fun. Alright, this poor bastard is getting completely roasty toasty alive. So I think if we just pop you over hereabouts, go do the old spark, get them into a little bit of a better spot. But yeah, I just love that the mod's been able to actually allow more folks to get through the game and like actually explore some of the side content and things like that. There's so much to that game that most people just never saw. Because, you know, the grind wall is just always there. It's like, oh, welcome to Chapter 4. Time to go run Tynemouth 50,000 times. Like, sure hope you like Farampa. Alright. We got 40% odds. It just occurred to me that that plan with trying to train a ghost here might be really bad. He's got no chance to hit this thing. Alright. Well, that's a bit of a downer. Go for a spark, I suppose. So you go over here. A little bit of the old spark thing. It's just going to do a damage split, I'm sure. Right now it's just repositioning with the slight bonus of, you know, getting a little bit of extra damage out there. So the game is pretty linear until Chapter 4. Getting there and trying to see everything is pretty intimidating. Yeah, I mean, did you ever see Mr. Foles' 100% run? Like, I don't mean watched every minute, because that thing's like 60 hours long, but I mean, like, did you see just how far they had gotten into everything? Like, this was off the base game too. It's like the sheer amount of effort that it took to get through it all is mind blowing. Like, I couldn't believe that he actually did it. All right, what do we want to do here? Might be able to go for a smite. That's cheap, that's effective, that's more guaranteed than her abilities. Yeah, it basically consisted of getting every single title in the game, every single item in the game, every single character in the game, and then maxing out every single character and then getting every single cursed weapon maxed out. Presumably, like, he took a little bit of a break after that, understandably. I assume to go spend some time in an insane asylum, but either way, he's actually over on the SRPG Reddit and Discord pretty regularly if you're ever curious to see the guy. But yeah, it's like that was the thing. Like, just watching that whole thing, it's just like there's just so much in that game, and I can't understand why they were thinking it's like, let's lock it behind a grind wall. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know if they were planning to make it a mobile game and monetize it or what. It's just it was such a baffling decision, and now that it's fixed, it's like, oh, look, there's actually a ton of really good stuff to enjoy here. Like, it's funny because okay, so I regularly go back and forth between OV and the regular version, just kind of to test different stuff and whatever else. And like, I think one of my favorite moments was this one run that was just an Iron Man run of both of them, and it was at San Bronze, specifically it was right at the part where it switches over to the floating ruins. I think it was, I want to say floor, I think 14 or so. But it was basically this moment where, just out of nowhere, halfway through this super endgame dungeon, they're just like, no! Everything's 20 levels higher. Why? Who knows? Base game, zero chance of actually doing it. Like, even with... I limited it to 2 overpowered archers for that run, and like, even they were just kind of doing okay damage at that point. But then when it came to the OV one, it was actually still possible despite the level difference. Just, I don't understand why they would do it, but, stuff happens, I suppose. Man, if they would just roll that critical quick one of these times, I swear. I've tried Path of Exile. I have heard great things, but I have not. Although, funnily enough, Path of Exile is actually referenced in One Vision. Apparently the 3 unique katanas are from PoE. Let's see, was it Goddess Bound, Goddess Unleashed, and Goddess Scorned, I think? I don't know what the actual story is behind them, but they've got all kinds of unique abilities and stuff. Yeah, I think I have it downloaded on PS4. I just never really had a chance to try it. The last thing that I actually got to try was that Dauntless thing, and we'll just go ahead and leave it at calling it a thing. Yeah, Let's go ahead and reload this one. Boop. Yeah, I'll give it a try. It seemed interesting. Yeah, I think if we got Blaze going here, that'd be amazing. It's a thing. Actually getting a foothold in this fight is a little bit of a doozy, but definitely doable, as we found out. Yeah, the one thing about PoE that made me wonder, though, was just how much grind it took. What's up with this FFT hack? Oh, so this is basically this is Cerabow's Rebalance. So have you heard of 1.3 before? Because the way that I typically describe this is it's like 1.3 in that it adds a whole bunch of features to the game, it adds some difficulty, but here's the thing, unlike 1.3, it doesn't revel in kicking you in the balls, so it's actually fun. Like, this so far is the most difficult map that I have run into for this particular challenge run. So, for example, all the monster characters were given new innate abilities, we're given just all kinds of different movement abilities, we're given all kinds of different stuff, that just makes them stick out. It's like right here, the bombs, I believe they've always had critical quick, but they've got a better version of their spark that comes with their extra moves. We've got a chicken here with monster ability, that's why I keep bringing him along. So he's got monster skill as one of his moves. There's a lot of different stuff. But yeah, So it's basically there for the purpose of adding new options and new functions all over the place, which tends to it opens up your options a whole lot. What I'm doing with this particular run doesn't necessarily showcase a lot of that particularly well. It's just he mentioned at a little while ago that at no point had anyone successfully completed a monster-only challenge of this game, and so naturally my first thought was, well, okay, I want to do that. So that's kind of where that happened. See, Pee-wee's grindy, but it's the first hack and slay where that didn't bother me. Cool character development and equipment shenanigans make up for that. Alright. That explains the swords all of a sudden. I'm gonna be curious to look at it. Yeah, the reason I was mentioning the grindy thing all of a sudden is like the one game that was technically grindy that didn't... Well, I guess technically there's two that were grindy but didn't bug me. One of which was the original Tactics Ogre, or rather the PSP version of Tactics Ogre, which the grind did bug me, but I loved the setting in the game and everything else going on so much that I stuck through it anyway. And especially because I love the hell out of Night of Lotus, so I wanted to find all of the stuff from that game. But more specifically, was referring to RuneScape. It's like that game has it's just everything about it. Despite the fact that it has grind and everything else, just always resonated with me for some reason. There's just something about its really seemingly low-effort approach, despite the fact that it's actually a very surprisingly well-made game. It's like they deliberately make the old-school version look like crap, and at this point, the old-school team, I believe, is actually the team behind some of the better stuff from back in the day, whereas new RuneScape is kind of just it's a WoW clone. But they brought back OSRS for the people that thought, wow, that's absolutely hot garbage, why would anybody want that? And so yeah, OSRS is pretty awesome, and it has Iron Man modes. So, what's it now? I want to say a year and a half ago, I had started doing an Ultimate Iron Man of that game. And actually I still have that account. It's actually the same as my original main account from back in the day. And, whoa. What the hell just happened there? Sorry. Point being, at some point, I don't know when, right now I'm still kind of setting it up, but at some point, within the next year, let's say, I was kind of hoping to actually do an Ultimate Iron Man run of that game. Because it's really, 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 better than it looks. Put it that way. And I actually know it pretty well, despite the fact that a lot of stuff has changed over the years. So I'd be kind of curious to see what happens with all that. And if you're wondering, how does an Iron Man run work with an MMO? Basically, there's two different versions that it goes with, because it's got one version where it's what's it? Yeah, well, actually, it's got three versions. It's got a regular Iron Man mode, which just basically means you can't interact with other people, except for a couple times where quests require it and stuff like that. And then for another one, there's Hardcore Iron Man, which basically means you have one life. But the thing is, with that one life mode, it always wound up becoming the same thing where people were just really metagaming the thing over and over. And ultimately, it was just the one life thing wasn't really much of a restriction. As weird as that sounds, it was just it's over and it's over. There really was no incentive to start from scratch. And though I have to say, I've seen people going and spending months on setting up new accounts to set up that kind of thing. My personal favorite, though, is one that they called Ultimate Iron Man. You don't have one account, or rather, you don't have one life, but you can't use a bank. You can't use most of the safety nets of the game. And if you die, all of your items are gone. Everything. Everything that wasn't stored away somewhere else, everything you're equipping, everything in your inventory, deleted. You can't go back and get it. Normally if you die, you can hopefully go back and maybe some other player hasn't gone and scavenged all your stuff. But yeah. If you've never played that game, it's basically a thing where You keep your 3 most expensive items, unless you've recently fought another player, or attacked another player, in which case you'll end up getting, well, you don't get any of them back, unless you used a particular ability that gave you 1 of them back. Sorry about that. Talking a bit too much. Point being, it is a surprisingly interesting game, but basically what this means is you have to beat an entire MMO with a very, very limited inventory, and the fact that your running ability is actually limited by your weight, your carry weight, and your agility, which is one of the skills I can't even train yet because I'm not on the membership side of it yet. It's it's a lot more interesting than I would have expected. Like, at first I signed up for it because it was just like, oh man, Iron Man mode. Does this mean 1 life? So nope. And the funny part is, unlike a lot of other MMOs, they typically keep all of the, like, oh man, look at all our characters, we put so much work in them, we hired all these different writers. They keep that crap to a minimum. Characters are just doing their own thing for the most part. Like, almost everybody's just a douchebag. It's great. Like, there usually isn't that whole, like, oh man, everybody's so honorable and good all the time thing. I hate it when a game does that. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but as soon as a game starts, like, spouting that whole, oh, you know, we gotta be all honorable and glorious all the time, like, spiel, I'm out. I just don't care anymore. Because suddenly I know no one's gonna give the slightest crap about the writing. Because there's gonna be no grayness to the story whatsoever. But yeah. I mean, that's not to say they don't have those moments, but generally speaking, they're usually... How do I put it? They're usually misunderstood. Like, I think my favorite ones... Like, my favorite stories are always when there's, like, a prophecy element in there, but everybody completely misunderstood what the hell they were talking about. Like, there's one for, like, the Viking storyline or whatever else that goes on there, because there's this whole, like, you know, friggin' Norse area and everything. And so they're going and they're digging through all these runes and everything else. And they're like, oh man, look, we found out, like, here's all these different names or whatever else. New guys on the list, like, they're supposed to do something important, and then your character gets crushed by a rock. And like, the funny part is, like, you'd think at that point they're like, no, they're gonna have some plot armor or something. No, they die. Your character legit just dies there. And then you just respawn like normal. Well, mostly like normal. You basically just go to a different version of your character's normal afterlife. And then they basically just spell it out to you. They're like, yeah, you know what? You know how this other deity just basically kept, like, flipping the switch back on every time you died? Well, I guess ours decided to do the same thing, like, this one time, so apparently that was the entire importance of the whole thing. He was just trying to say he'd do that. It's like, there was nothing special here. You just kind of felt like helping out. Like, it's interesting. I don't know. The story's intentionally stupid at a lot of points. Like, there's literally an entire quest line about the USSR made entirely of penguins for one reason or other. Oh my goodness. We're doing this crap again, huh? Mr. Cerabow, can we maybe not have Dark Holy on every time mage? Alright, so no more chicken. That method is just not working. We're going back to the original method here. I'm just gonna do this. It's just, I don't know. Dark Holy! Getting spammed like crazy! So we're just gonna go the original method here. Just burninate everything. And then just use Fairy a bunch. As you do. Man. This map is really something else. You'd think they would have tried to deal with this forest at some point. Like, maybe sent some dudes to deal with this. I don't know. Always one of those things that made me wonder as far as Tactics Ogre goes. It's like every single one of them, there's just undead all over the place. Like, they just stop caring after a certain point. Like, there's just too many that keep popping up for them to actually manage the thing. So they're just hoping somebody else does it. At least that's the implication. I don't know if they ever actually directly address that either, because it's in every single game. Alright, so first things first. I don't think we need a Zuna here. It's not really going to do very much. Might as well go for re-raise on you. Just kind of guarantee that lands. Part of everyday life. Some zombies wandering around everywhere. Yeah. Then again, I guess there's Florida. So, same thing. Then you got people biting each other in the face on bath salts. You got people looking like zombies walking around all over the place. Why not? Mr. Vale can back me up on this. It's exactly the Florida experience. I mean, went there for Christmas one year and literally saw 3 people crash over the course of 15 minutes. Like, it's legit just bizarre down there. I mean, it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you have never seen anything like Florida. It's our own little zoo of utter insanity. That's what it is. Alright, I think we're gonna go... Do we want to go Life Song? I think we want to go Life Song. So we need to be able to single target some of them. See, Florida's weird, but you don't need to confirm that. Just watch Annihilation. Fair enough. Also, hang on. I'm gonna be right back. Just one sec. Gotta go make sure everybody's good and snacking. So, one moment. Alright, hello again. Let's put this back. There we go. Alright. Huh, didn't know that was a trilogy. I think I saw bits of that movie. Can't remember if I actually ever finished watching it, though. Alright, let's see. Immediately dead before even getting a turn. Fantastic! This sounds appropriate. I think it's time to do another hard start again. Oh, music got weird all of a sudden. Alright, let's go ahead and reset that real quick. Really could have just reset it normally, but I'm completely restarting it for some reason. But yeah, we just need to roll a different fight. Because that one's being pretty unfortunate. So yeah, the very first one, there were 3 that took normal damage, which allowed us to actually make some headway. In this one, all of the characters that are coming up are taking half damage from fire. So we're not really able to do anything there before they can... Oh yeah, and the whole insta-killing with Dark Holy thing. That's a little bit of a downer. So let's go ahead and get us a better fight then, shall we? Shiny interpretive dance battle? By the way, a bit of a random thing, but got asked to do some more Armored Core Blenderizer, so we'll be doing that tomorrow. Kind of random, but, you know, such is life. Just kind of forgot to mention that earlier. Time for a different kind of Marlboro. Well, basically, here's what I'm thinking. Because if we get a similar fight to the one before, then the main issue is the ghosts. I'm thinking the main thing that I need to change here is I need to take... Here, let's swap these two. Because that should be the highest level one. Because for some reason, mousing over them doesn't tell you which one that actually is. It tells you which one you're selecting at the moment. Anyway. So, alright. So yeah, he should be able to take it, even if it's just barely. I would hope anyway. If we bring the chicken in, then we don't have enough kind of forward push to be able to break through. If we don't bring the chicken in, then we got to deal with ghosts in an awkward manner, and basically just kind of have to commit to self-destructs at the very end, which, honestly, fine. Really, I should have just taken out the ghost last time instead of trying to capture him. I probably don't want to even bother trying to capture him at the moment, because realistically the AI will always have access to 100% moves. So there's that. It's really sad I've never seen anyone take the movie ending and put DDR steps and music over it. You're gonna have to see this dance. Yeah, let's see. There we go. I love how one of the first things when you type in Annihilation is just somebody asking for an explanation. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and do the old... Want to go re-raise or do we want to go... I think we want to go re-raise here. Best odds. Alright, you just go ahead and wait. What the hell? That can't be the right scene. Does this scene involve mouth lasers? That's definitely not the... That can't be a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Alright, I almost want to say go for nameless here. Wait, is that seriously we're talking about the same thing here? That's the scene? Huh. Well, that both makes sense and doesn't in very extreme measures at the same time. Now it's like some reverse cloud flower thing? I don't know if there's any actual music playing for this. And now it's some glowing space butthole. And I think it's Keira Knightley or whoever. Sparkly goo person dancing with Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman, that's who. That is. I always get those two confused. Anywho. Yep. Currently, she is staring at a glowing alien space butthole thing. That's as far as that's gotten, and then I guess some blood out of their eyeball shot into it for some reason. What was the point of... What is this? How is this at all related to the others? Okay, and then it turned into a bunch of stuff. And stuff got all cellular all of a sudden. What the hell am I looking at? Okay, now they're made of metal. And... now apparently they've got matrix powers or something. Or no, wait, those are tentacles. I thought those were bullets bouncing off. Right, let's go ahead and have this guy go self-destruct here. I'm not sure if this will be a good idea. Probably won't be. Just want to get oil on those. Wait, and now she's just on a movie set? Or no? Alright, you go ahead and wait there. You go ahead and finish her off. So that's a 108, so we'll get a standard. No! Ah! Crap, I just screwed that up. Should have finished her off. Yeah, I think it's about to get to that dancing scene. Oh no. It decided to take an ad break to tell everybody about men's wiping wipes. Dandy. I'm not sure how this is at all relevant to this, but okay then. I always love how they're literally just baby wipes, and they're like, no, they're man wipes now. You can use them on junk. Ugh. Okay. Goo person is now attempting poses on unconscious peoples. And, oh, seriously, what the hell is this? Why does this exist? Like, did they ever explain this? Is this some art house stuff? Okay, now they're apparently getting a little rapey. Wait, is that actually what's happening? I can't tell. And I guess they're doing choreographed face planting now. What's going on here? Huh. So she just basically became an FFT mime? Is that what's going on here? Oh, son of a dick! Stop insta-killing everyone! See, it makes sense within the context of the movie. It's weird, but it's clearly an attempt by the entity to figure out how to communicate. None of this is how that happens in the books, or even the plot of the books at all. It's like, I get it, but when I'm thinking aliens, this is not that at all. Or even anything remotely similar. I mean, the design's interesting to some degree, like, it does look like the right texture, but... And why would your first thought be to give it a grenade? Well, that's weird. Okay. Let's get that one taken care of. Ramsey gets raised, raises a few folks here. Okay, that was just a weird scene in general. I think we can all agree on that one. Really? Let's targeting him before he's even awake. Yeah, there's no way this lands. So she'll raise him. Probably just go ahead and stay there. is really going about as well as it did last time right now. Because in theory, the numbers are there to win it, it's just we keep running into that same situation where they're just like, okay, you know, Dark Holy, Dark Holy, Dark Holy, over and 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 over again. That first time they kept going for disabling moves, which, while annoying, was a little bit more manageable. It's kind of just, what the hell, can you stop already? Not to mention the re-raise and everything else. % guard. Alright. Alright, fair enough. Gotta have your Adam West references. But for real though, how do they dodge every 78%? Could I maybe have a little bit less of that, please? Alright. A small chance I can have her run around this corner, go ahead and raise this guy. And it's a whiff. Okay. Never mind, because this guy gets to act again immediately. By the way, yes, I did update to the most recent version. So the time mages are slightly slower. These guys are still apparently fast as hell, because... Man. Like, I cannot get insta-turns on anybody. They're just like, nope, everybody gets a full turn in the time you act. I mean, this guy's running around literally planning to take dudes out before they're even revived. Like right there. My critical quick. Okay, now that worked out okay. And that worked out okay. The other one... Oh! Hi there, Pan, thank you! 6 months now, appreciate it! Alright, let's see about... Not much he can do over there. If he goes for a... Let's see, if he goes for a spark, he might be able to do some stuff. If he goes for this guy... Yeah, he can take this guy out. Of course, he's going to be out of revive range now, but that's alright. This is just how we gotta do it. Son of a baconator. Okay. Survived with just 4. I was certain that was going to be enough to take him out. Oh my goodness! Why do you guys have so much health? Alright. Take these two out. He's almost got enough to do it, too. How things been going? Well, aside from a cough, feeling a bit better, and aside from my dog having a bit of issues with his stomach and all that, doing a bit better. But yeah, been nice and chaotic, as per usual. Got back from a trip up north, went to go see some relatives and all that kind of thing. This guy never misses his sleep. We miss every 78%. What is the deal? How have things been going with you? Jeez. Alright. Yeah, this is probably already screwed here. Respect to streaming after Discord promotion stuff. Yeah, I heard you were. I haven't gotten any notifications about it for some reason. So I meant to take a look at that because I heard you were doing DS2. Alright. They're using all their buff moves. Yeah, this team's pretty well crippled, but I can't finish it off because he's asleep. Alright, if he basically wakes him up right now, manages to get a quick fairy, and then from there he's able to follow up with that somehow. Now making Twitter happen? Well, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. Haven't used to vaguely attempt to use it. Oh, son of a dickery! Not again! You guys with your nuke moves. Dang Zamboids. Right. Finally a quick cast. It's not going to do very much, but it's something. Alright, his best bet seems to be to go over here. But yeah, how's that been going so far? Goes great. How goes streaming here? Little by little. Stuff's going up. Let's see. People's wise, what do we got here? We're up to 154. There were 4 subs at one point, but then there were drastically less. But yeah, it kind of goes up and down. I think it's mostly because I kept switching back and forth between stuff for a while. And the relatively niche stuff that I typically tend to go for. I was considering doing a finish a lot of runs. Yeah, I do a hell of a lot of challenge runs. I've actually been doing pretty alright with the X Division run this time around. Oh my sweet salty goodness, this fight has been a absolute fustercluck. Yeah, life break. Freaking life break. There we go. Let's play Fortnite. Okay, I was mentioning earlier, the one thing that I know of that actually is relatively popular, that I'm actually pretty decent at, that I could reasonably see doing a challenge run of for an extended period of time, was doing an Ultimate Iron Man of RuneScape. So that was the one that's basically you can't interact with other people, you can't use a bank, you can't use any store that's above its normal stock of inventory. Like you can't buy from general shops. You're basically just like living off the land and then trying to beat the entire game that way. And you're just basically locked in after a certain point. It was like, you know what? If there was a thing to build, that would probably be it. Because realistically, I've seen a good number of folks actually showing up for those. Because I was looking at it the other day, I was like, you know, I started trying this through YouTube last year, but nobody friggin' watches through YouTube. And then figured, you know what? You know, let me go see what folks actually think on, you know, their Reddit side of things. They've got, you know, like a few 100,000 or whatever. They're like, oh man, you know, if somebody did an Ultimate Iron Man and just streamed it, would totally watch that. So I was like, alright, I can do that. Funnily enough, okay, the reason that it's funny to me is because that mode is kind of how I was accidentally playing it for the longest time. Because honestly, 9 times out of 10, whenever you're playing RuneScape, like, or at least did back in the day, before they had a bajillion security measures all over the place to the point that you can barely access your frickin' bank, is basically in the older version, like 9 times out of 10, if somebody was trading you something, they were trying to rip you off, which is pretty funny because it's a nice little introduction to commerce there. But yeah, like beyond the setting and whatever else, which honestly is pretty Tactics Ogre-esque. If you've never seen it before, it's a relatively similar thing with more of a sense of humor, I'd say. Basically, more sense of humor, less consistent writing. Let's put it that way. But yeah. But yeah, so like generally speaking, you know, I didn't really trade with people that much because I always thought something was going to be wrong there. Always used a spear, despite the fact that spears absolutely suck in that game. Like here's how the like whole weapon setup works, right? You got daggers and short swords. They're functionally identical. Like literally, like short swords are like slightly heavier, but they have the exact same attack speed. The short swords have slightly better armor penetration, slightly better damage. And like the way armor in that works is basically just a roll of the dice. The higher your armor, the less likely somebody is to get through. Other than that, if they get through, max damage, doesn't matter. So there's no like reduction or whatever else, except for a few very limited abilities. Anywho, so the thing with spears is no accuracy, no friggin' strength on them. they've got like a beyond minuscule defensive bonuses, and they're heavy as crap, and they take both hands. So why would you ever use one? It's like the only thing is just it has equal stats across 3 different damage types, which never matters. Like, there's 2 storyline bits where they matter, and that's about it. See, have you ever bothered with Heroes of Might and Magic 3? I cannot say that I have. I've watched a bit of it, and it seemed interesting. I have not actually played it myself. Alright, let's try going for Shell again. And let's see if we get first turn nuked again. Or if we get, like, triple don't move and then, like, get 2 casualties. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, could do that. Is it a super long game or some such? Alright, 1 guy for 70. That's survivable. Now we got some mysterious disease that don't even understand. Over a week ago now. Whose symptoms like are just literally all over the dang place. Oh, random map generator, you say? Oh, there we go, sold. And hang on, my daughter is currently yelling at my son about something. So, one sec. Alrighty, and back. Oh, okay. Well, have fun with the lurkage, Mr. Panman. So, See, been meaning to play March of the Black Queen any of these days, but coming from Night of Lotus as my first ogre game, couldn't get into it. It's a real dang good game anyway. Like, I will say, play the SNES version first, because you can completely break the game with the cards. But then the PS1 version is... Okay, I really don't know why it's like a contested thing for some reason. In my opinion, like the PS1 version is just better. Just because, like A, like all your unique characters actually stick out. B, the fact that they rebalance some of the units, and C, the fact that you can't spam cards like literally every frame. But yeah, it's a neat game. You gotta cycle your units around a whole lot. You gotta consider it similarly to Tactics Ogre there, just in terms of just who you want to send out against what, and always make sure to keep your low Bs getting trained up and all that kind of thing. And then ooh, all right, let's see if we want to do this here. Yeah, let's do that. See if she maybe gets a counter flood on her friend there instead. Because as long as we can get one of these going, we're somewhere in business. Oh, dang it. You got a don't move. So he was craving more of the same old goodness KOL gave me, and they're pretty different games. Well, let's see. We got, if you're looking for more KOL type stuff, well, we do have the modding thing that's going on right now. So that's gonna be something as soon as it takes off. Like, we're at the moment, I know a few people were going and learning the mod tools there. See, I'm using mod tools in like the vaguest of terms here because it's less like mod tools specifically and more like it's just more a more convenient hex editor, and that is not the right command I just used. Oops. Sorry, Rodan, you self-destructed for no reason. Alright, there we go. This is the opening that I needed for them to do their don't moves for their first couple of turns and not manage to pull that off every single time. Alright. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, I was planning to make a mod myself of it too, just like a generalized rebalance and all that kind of thing. There's also one vision, which, I mean, I'm sure you've played PSP Lucked at least. It's like, if you're looking for more like Knight of Lotus, like old SNES or PS1, Let Us Cling Together, plays very similarly to that one. Although I have to say there is more grind. Levels matter a lot more in that game. In Knight of Lotus, generally speaking, they managed to rubber band everything well enough to the point where you usually didn't see imbalances that often. Like, even under the worst circumstances, you usually had, like, minimum thresholds and things like that still kept stuff going. Like, one thing I used to love doing, and I used to call this the Modern Army Run, was you could use basic crossbows throughout the entire game, and they would still wind up doing around 10 damage. And it's not a lot, sure, but, you know, you could just pretend they're shooting machine guns or whatever else, and they're just sitting there, and they're like, pew, 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 pew. And it was really amusing. I was a weird kid, okay? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, so we are one tile off from being able to be useful there. Raise is well out of range. Could go for a re-raise, could go for a truth here. Yeah, I mean, that could work. Worth a shot at least. See, after KOL, I've been playing the PSP Luck One Vision and loved it. Yeah, it's a similar feeling, just that nice physicality to it. Yeah, there really aren't. There's a few that try, and there's a few that regularly try to get a similar feel out of it. I've been told that Fell Seal is pretty similar, though even though I've been meaning to try it, I've never had a chance to try it yet. So I can't necessarily say if that's true or not. I don't know if it would be like up to KOL standards, but allegedly it's really good. Other folks said it was less than good, so I think it's more a matter of tastes, but who knows. But I'm hoping we'll get to see a lot more of KOL once we get modding going for real. Just because there's a good amount of stuff that's available right now. Yeah, same here. I always loved that whole the whole system when it came to how they got promoted into classes and everything. It was like you have to go and earn a specific badge or whatever else, and once you get your emblem, you're approved for the job and everything. They got to go through a little bit of a test. It's nice. They definitely could have done more with it, but it's nice that it's there. All right, I'm gonna leave him on Life Song because he needs to be able to sing one more time to save somebody up there somewhere. I can't exactly remember where, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and oilify you. Oh, of course you'd get the damage split on that. Let's see. Way back when I found them in tactical RPGs, it was like a match made in heaven. Yeah, I had this really weird moment personally. Man, I sure love how all of their turns come before Life Song happens even once. Beautiful! Yeah, FFTA and FFTA 2, that's true. Have you ever tried those? Like, FFTA, depends. A lot of people don't like the rule system in that one. FFTA 2 is a lot more freeform, and a lot more... It's kind of like, it's randomly punishing, but it's relatively open world in some senses. But yeah, those games are also really similar in terms of having an interesting class mechanic. They have a pretty good party engagement in terms of just, feeling your party's actually doing stuff. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's played through Knight of Lotus and specifically made sure to have the particular classes that show up in cutscenes, just to pretend that those are my dudes in the cutscenes, but whatever. So you can't play FFTA 2 yet, but I played FFTA. Whereas Black Queen is definitely a shock after the other 3 games in the series. Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace, but it's a good change of pace, I feel. Right, there's not really too much for him to do here aside from try to heal. Realistically, I'm not sure we're finishing this map today. Yeah, same here. Honestly, with the law system, it seemed like maybe a good 80% of the time you already had the law, like you had the right cards in hand to just be able to make the laws whatever the hell you wanted them. Boy. Why are there skulls buses and why do they move like they're on crack? Oh yeah, speaking of, I meant to actually go get like hats or t-shirts or something with a skulls bus made. Allegedly, if you make those and they don't, what's it? Like, if you design them, allegedly they only get made if somebody actually wants one. So apparently you can send in a design and it's just there. Gotta do that. Let's see. Put it off because it went right after KOL with the wrong mindset. Yeah, I don't know, like, personally, I just tried it for the first time last year, as weird as that sounds. Like, my first foray in strategy games was, well, technically it was a bunch of old DOS games, but first, like, Masuno type thing was FFT, and then immediately off of FFT, because I was looking for Knight of Lotus. I wanted something to play on my Game Boy while on this long family trip. And so my brother had hooked up the PS1 in the car, because dude's like a techno genius, and, especially for the time, anyway. I know we already lost this, I'm just taking these two out for the hell of it. Anyway, so yeah, I was playing the FFT in the car, beat it, and then came back, and then, anyway, so had gotten Knight of Lotus immediately afterwards. And so I'm expecting this amazing music, because I don't remember why I thought they were exactly the same people that made it, which it turns out was at least semi-correct-ish. There's similar groups that made it. But anywho, what had happened was, yeah, I picked up Knight of Lotus upon coming back. I'd saved my allowance to get one or both. It's not, well, it wasn't an allowance, let's be honest. It was more like times I didn't eat lunch in order to actually have money to spend on stuff. Can't go there if he gets revived. This one needs to go. Alright, there we go. Let's go for a blaze. For a blaze of glory. There we go. I mean, I have that, the picture, I have the taken out picture of that Skulltopus there. Should see if somebody, actually I should send that to my brother. He's actually a really good artist. Wonder if he can, maybe, like, make a big version of that or something. Oh! Oh, you get an instant cast every time! Amazing! Boy, that seems fair. Alright, anyway. I know, I'm griping on this thing after going on about how fair it is. This is the only map so far that has been legitimately just like, what the hell? We'll say that much. Like, even going through Dark Dungeon and whatever else. You know, it's alright. I'm just getting a little bit annoyed at the fact that they get insta-casts every time. Yeah, the Carpet Lich. Ah, if only. Then immediately gets sued by Disney for having a flying carpet. Alright, heading back to editing. Alright, good luck, Mr. Vale. You have yourself a good one. Talk to you soon. Hope you're feeling all good over there. Having a good day and all that kind of business. Alright, so there's 4 of them left. One of them in self-destruct range. These guys. Alright. He can just go and probably take this one out instantly. if she can get Ramza up. Wow, really? That's it? Depressing. Okay. Alright, so she goes ahead and gets Ramza up. Hides back here. She's probably going to get hit anyway. Because these guys have been just insta-turning left and right. Because it seems like it takes about roughly half of our turn in order for them to get a second turn. Not to mention, this a-hole right here keeps... What just happened there? Alright, for some reason this guy keeps following up with finishing somebody off before they're even down over and over. So that's a bit annoying. There we go. Time to restart it again. Why did I try to capture that ghost that first time? That's what I get. That's what I get, I suppose. Be right back. Alrighty, hello. It's a little bit quieter now for the moment. Gonna probably be wrapping up pretty soon. Because everybody's getting all riled up over there. Alright. Let's see if the game decides to roll a nicer fight this time. There we go. Alright, come on. Don't give me resistant to fire or, like, bajillion high speed, like, mega demons or some crap. Alright. Do I want to give Biolante one more try? I mean, he could take care of the ghosts immediately. Actually, he could take care of the one on the right if he goes right here. Right here. Yeah, let's try that. What's the difference between Larg and Goltana? I thought they were supposed to be both in their 40s or so? Let's see. What does Wikipedia say? Right, Bestralled Larg. What the hell kind of weird name is that? Alright, does it say how old you are? Age, 37. Okay, so, I mean, he's almost 40. Wasn't terribly off about that. And... let's see, Duke Goltana here. Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, Goltana kind of looks like a moldy pickle, but... let's see here. Yeah, Goltana's 56. He also look... yeah, his portrait actually kind of looks pretty similar to Mind Flayer. Anywho, moving on. So here's what we're going to do. Move over here. I'm going to put her kind of in the middle. Slap a re-raise on this glorious bastard right here. Let them move forward. If we use Biolante, and unfortunately it seems like we got the same old setup with the wind here. Please don't tell me they try to go for a life break setup. Alright, he's doing crazy amounts of damage with Chain Lightning. I say crazy because the other one did 20, this one does 56. Alright. That's fine. Same stuff's getting a little fussy over there again. And in case you're wondering, it's basically over the fact that they both happen to be roughly in the same vicinity. Like, within the same zip code of a particular toy that she decides that she likes. And then just out of nowhere, it's like, no, it's mine! Kind of thing. Alright, let's go Nameless. And put him up here. Probably should fly him up to the top of that tree. I don't know what would happen. Alright, that's fine. Auto regen should sort that right out. In fact, I'm a little confused why exactly Marl Bros have so little health. Like, I know their whole deal is supposed to be that they're still killable despite being really, really dangerous. But, like... Marl Bros just seem really, really weak. Like, at least some kind of, you know, innate resistances or something. They seem to die to nothing. Alright, let's put you over here. Or over here. He's going to go ahead and roast this one back to life. So that he doesn't get finished off, but he might potentially get knocked into crit. Oh, hello there, Arcane Viper. Thank you very much for the follow. Alright, let's go ahead and take out these two for the time... not really for the time being. Self-destruct is unavailable. This will end up putting them into a low enough spot that if they get in position for a blaze, They should be able to take them out. I hope, anyway. Alright, let's move you back here. Yeah, sharing's caring. And not when you're a toddler. To a toddler, it's the end of the world. Alright, come on, 25%. Let's roll those dice. Win by dice rolls! Well, that's just disappointing. Okay. Fine. Of like 20 things. Guess we got oil. Apparently my son's laughing in the background at that. But yeah, the funny part is, as soon as she gets over that whole, like, mine thing, they usually just start playing together anyway. It's the weirdest thing. Like, she just forgets to be mad. It's great. Alright, so we're in a better position now. We've made it through our first turn. I can probably afford to do this kind of situation. Let's see, that'll put him into 90. It won't be enough for a critical. There we go. Good. Very good. Extra good. Okay. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. See, if that had worked the very first time, we also would not have had a problem. Alright, so that ghost is within fireball range to be taken out. Which just leaves the mages at that point. The ghosts aren't too much of an issue, except for the fact that they can randomly put someone to sleep. Which they keep doing to the two human characters, which is very frustrating. Right. That mine stuff. Hopefully we're past the mine stage pretty soon. And like I said, like, distance almost doesn't matter. Like, someone can be a room away. And just like, if she has something, just like, Marr! Alright, come on, critical quick. Oh, that would have been a perfect critical quick right there. Why you gotta be like that? Why do you never want to roll your critical quicks? You know what I just noticed? Alternate names? Wait, what the hell? Okay. I misread this. But, okay, it's supposed to be, like, I saw the wiki page for Gultana. It's supposed to be Druxmald Gultana. I read that as like, Drunksmald Gultana here. Alright, one sec. Oh boy. Alright, and back yet again. So, let's go ahead and wrap this up then. I hope, anyway. In Biolante's gooey goodness we trust. So, let's see here. If he goes here, might take out Rafa. That is a big old mess of karma right there, but, more realistically, we will take out that chick over there. Yes! Petrified Frog! Insta-perma-dead in the deadest way possible. Right. Now we just go ahead and get that fairy in here. No, that's not going to be a good spot. This might be. There we go. And then if either of these instantly gets a turn and can run up and do a self-destruct, we're in business. We're good. Are you serious? Alright, fine. Just, I guess, revives don't work. Beautiful. Let's see here. Let's get that one up. And retreat you back here. As the backup plan. If they decide to come close and decide to all get, you know, taken out by Biolante, that'd be perfect. He seems really resistant to their favorite move. Why you gotta be like that? What? Okay, I thought he was gonna do the sleep move. That's fine. He can go ahead and do that only once. Oh no, he's going for fire. I guess it's not so bad. Yeah, Biolante's doing okay. This might potentially still be completely screwed. Oh, for goodness sake. Like, I guess I wouldn't be bothered by this as much if it really made sense as to why exactly there was just a bunch of ridiculously strong, like, super mages hanging out in a forest. Just, like, all dead and everything. Alright. The way I see it is this. We set this up with a spark. Like, ideally, let's say right here. I can't get both of those. I guess I can't really reach her either, huh? Whatever, either way, he sets it up with a spark. Uses that to tank the hit. He's not exactly far away enough here. Alright, we gotta roll the dice, though, because he has a chance to take out 2 more. Or at least 1 more. Beautiful. And then there was 1. Your moves are bullcrap. Alright. Now we go for a basic raise here. I don't think she can escape the ghost, but she might be able to guard it at least. And I guess beyond that, our only real hope is that just Biolante beats everybody before the clock runs out. Because the odds of that revival landing are pretty much none. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're still fighting over that stupid tree. This is the first map that we've actually gotten, like, legit stuff like this on. Unfortunately. It is, as Mr. Bay likes to joke about me saying, technically still winnable. And Biolante would need to go... If he could go that way, that might be something. He goes over here. Goes for the self-destruct. There's nothing for her to counter here. She has no way of healing. Okay, we can go for a spark and then a self-destruct. Alright, this is counting on a double petrify somehow. Yeah, that's another petrify. That's one sleep. He's gonna die, but he's gonna come back to life. He's got re-raise, so he's gonna be able to do another. Oh, of course he'd roll to revive. Why wouldn't he? And a double turn on top of it, sure. Either way, they put themselves in perfect position, so... Fine, can my Rodan get a turn, please? Okay. So 127. If he... Alright, quick look at the map here. Yeah, there's no turns left, so he has to go for the win here. If he goes for a spark, if she counters this, then there's no way to win, period. There still might not be a win even if she doesn't. If she hits him, he gets an instant turn. This guy revives, goes over here. Goes for a double bad breath. Hopefully petrifies all three of them. And sure, okay, that's it. There's no winning it. Because the one way was if all of those petrifies hit, somehow. Either petrify, frog, whatever. And then he got the critical quick, then came back and did a self-destruct. Because now he's able to just win this little fight over here. Unfortunately, there's nothing left for Biolante to do, even though he would technically win this. So, there we go. Alright, anyway, so we managed to accomplish absolutely nothing over the course of the stream. So I will see you guys in a bit then. Off to do the whole lunch thing. You guys have a good one, and yeah, take care.